exactly what she said.
Oh.
She said,
Okay, here, wait. Okay, what'd she say?
can I talk to the paper?
Yes. Come on, what'd she say?
She said that if the child says that they're 4, she says, oh, I think that you're older than that. And, you know, she counts really fast. She has the child put them in, so the child counts, say, at 18. She gets to 18, she says, oh, you're 18, so you can drive a car, you can have 2 girlfriends. And sometimes she gets the kids all the way up to 65, so they can be as old as grandma or old as grandma.
Okay, isn't that great? Isn't that cute?
And they stay in the water till 65?
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
You know,
Counting, but then when you tell them to count, and they go, no, in your brain count.
Hey, little horse, when you're not on the rope, you let your hands come across. You can't afford that now. Go down on the rope again, okay? And watch where your hands go and make them do the same thing coming back. Also tell my kids, never put your hand into the black line. If you're on top of the black line, never put your hand in the black line. You put your hand in outside the black line, then you can come across the black line as you pull through. But on your entry, you're not supposed to be pulling on your entry because you're pulling on your recovery and pushing with the opposite arm on your entry. Push, pull. So the arm that's leading must be totally streamlined, and the arm that's underneath pulling and pushing is what's continuing your streamlined body moving that way. It's continuing to push your streamlined body moving that way. The hips and the shoulders are absolutely vital. You can't swim like this or like that. And the 50 meters.
But this guy, what? This guy's the second fastest guy? Who is it?
If you watch
Raymondus Majolas.
What's his name?
Raymondus Majolas. He's been here 2 years from Lithuania.
And he's the second fastest 50 freestyler?
Second fastest 50 and 100 meters freestyler.
He's saying bad things about you, really.
His nickname is Hollywood.
Hollywood. You told us it all. Now, you said it all.
And when he first came a couple years ago, Thanksgiving, couldn't speak any English at all. And the very first picture that the paper took of him, they put on sunglasses and had him lying in the sunshine because he came from snow above his head.
Where's he from?
Swim down her back for me, please.
On the back?
Just go.
Freestyle.
He just wants to see you. He just wants to see you stroke. About
Lithuania?
3 black lines and come back.
I think they said he's...
Now, how much stroke, how much changing did you do when you got here?
I didn't change him. I didn't touch him. I've helped him in his training methods. I've not messed with his stroke, but his stroke is beautiful.
Where did he get that?
He has a woman coach in Lithuania. He called him.
You know what? I wish I could send my daughter to you, Jack.
Hey, you guys did great. Good show. Good show.
Larry,
good friend.
So let's go on the top, please.
I tell you what, I really appreciate it. You did a great job. Well, you really killed us a nice man.
And folks, if you can only do it one time fast, you only do it one time. When you can't do it fast, you stop doing it. This is a quickness drill. Strength building, good feel, quickness.
And they don't do
down
that.
to the seat.
I want you to try to be as clean as possible. It's not.
Once you finish stretching it,
I'm not
you get there
looking
with
for just
100%.
power,
You turn
unless
around.
it's clean power, unless it's efficient
Just to
power.
get, you might as well get some time out of that too.
Thank you, Ryan.
Look at his beautiful freeze.
Oh, look at that.
Gorgeous.
See that? You see that?
Yeah.
Hey, keep your head low, lady. If you have the large one.
It stays extremity dominated. The stroke is shoulder control.
Well, now, he didn't say that.
What, say that again?
He said it forces you to open that hip. That's what he wants you to do, is open that hip.
Make room
And
for
if
the
they
hand
don't
to go
do-
by.
If they don't do that, he gets on them. He says they want to do this, and this. And if they don't do that,
For the hand to come by.
they want that hand to come by right here.
They want the hand to be anchored and the body move past the hand.
That's what they call positive
resistance.
resistance.
That's what he calls it.
No, I don't do that. You can as fast as you can what you're doing. Roll over on your back and return feet first, slowing above your head. Fingertips pointing to the bottom with your palms looking at the wall over there. Slow down to your feet. When it's your turn to go.
So, what's the purpose of this, Robert? What good is what?
Learning to touch water.
Learning to touch
Todd,
water.
once you surface, don't rebury yourself. Once you surface, just stay up. Just protect the nose in case you fall under because of your weight. If you want to be clean, the water falling up. Just
How do you know him, Rob?
well, he did a Pablo Morales and him fundraiser for the hurricane with us. And he's the Florida Locals champion swimmer for many years. Great athlete, this man here. Nation's best sprinter.
I'm back. Oh, it is my best
Yeah.
asset, you know.
I was wondering what she was shooting at the camera.
That's my
Looking down, I wonder what you.
You should get your best asset too, Howard.
Directions. Now, what I'm doing today, I think is really a direct result of coming to these NSSA conferences. I have to say that with the exception of Johnny, who's probably one step more of a holdout than me, but maybe this year will help him. We were the all-time forever holdouts on not using floaties to teach side breathing. We were all brought up with the still feeling that we don't want these children using floaties, that there's numerous drownings and things that happen when children become dependent on floaties. So therefore we would never allow a floaty in our pool. Especially after Ginny's presentation last year and all the ones I'd seen for 3 years, I decided that it was like really time we became progressive and tried to do what was best for our students. So I went home from the conference and said, you know, this is really the way to go. We have to try this. We had a meeting, we had a staff meeting, we all tried it. Everybody almost mutilated me. They absolutely couldn't do it. It was horrible. The kids were fussing because it was a new skill for every child in our program. And we, to be honest, scrapped it. That was October. It was like, don't even do this to me now. They're saying, forget it. We didn't do it. Starting about January, we eased it in with actually our 5 and 6-year-old kids. And at this point, I'm convinced that it is the best, quickest way to really teach the freestyle side breathing once they've got all the introductory skills. And that brings me into the next thing. Once they have all the introductory skills. A child should not be taught to side breathe until they've got all the comfort skills. They're totally living in the water, relax, can blow bubbles, sit on the bottom, do their bobbing, do just easy breathing to the front. Any of those skills must be accomplished before you teach side breathing, because you're really doing a progression to teach the side breathing too quickly. There's one other thing on the floaty subject that I have to say. Here we are after all these years of saying floaties are dangerous, we don't want to use them. I still want to write the companies and let them know what I think about the equipment, because here we're using it for advanced swimmers. I can't tell you how many times in the 8 months we've been doing this that a child has had a floaty on that's decided to just go, and it's all over with, there's no floaty. Okay, well we'll get another, we're teaching side breathing. Just, once again, is the point, is why we don't want the parents using them before they're really doing side breathing. Now, what Pat's doing for me, I need to introduce, this is Joseph and Rebecca. They are really in the introductory stages of this. So we think that we brought them so it wouldn't be any too easy for me. It would be a lot easier to bring kids that are really very, very comfortable with the skills, and that you can see that it's a piece of cake. It's really not a piece of cake. What I'm going to do for them, sometimes we use fins, sometimes we don't. These two, I'd say sometimes they do. I'm going to let them use them today so they don't wear out. Probably will take them off at the end. The fins are not a necessity, but it's going to help them to relax. We'll start them out doing the kinds of things they're doing on the stairs. They're always very warmed up before we do any of the side breathing skills.
It's for side breathing.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm
Practice kicking on our side.
I didn't know this.
Now, what we do is we have them on their side in the water, here on the pillow, one hand on your side, and the first thing we just do is kick on the side. I know it's not too bad, but I want you to guys.
It's on the wrist.
Yeah, what I always try to do
Well,
is
that's not
stand
so
behind
high.
the very first step is just kicking on our side.
Yeah, I like those guys.
Okay, now you stand right
Now
here.
that might work if she put it on her wrist.
But the first thing we do, and we teach them, we try doing different fun things. This month we're calling it shark arm. I think one of the things is you need to change all the time. You know, Barney's passe and we change all the time. But this month we're all putting our ears on the pillow and we're making shark arms. He's kicking on his side. I like to stand behind him so we keep him in the side position. You don't need to do anything with the arms, buddy, okay? I don't want to talk with my back to you, but these guys are going bananas facing into the sun. Maybe we'll try going to this side. All right, you ready? Here on the pillow. Let's make the shark arm, Rebecca. Let's make the shark arm. Good girl. Here on the pillow. Shark arm. One thing that I always like to emphasize is that you never want to hold on top of the head so if she needs any guidance. Put my fingers on the chin right here. All right, let's wave to the crowd. You gonna make the shark, buddy? You need to do a shark arm? No, this arm. You need to do a shark arm all by yourself. Here on the pillow. Here we go. Good. Shark arm all by yourself. Good. Hold on. Right there. Okay. Now, what I want to do is one more shark arm. They're going to go by themselves. I'm going to turn my back to you. I apologize, but I don't want them on the sun. No, we'll change arms. We'll change your arm. Joseph, can you change your arm? Okay. Here on the pillow. I'll help you. Make the shark arm back. There we go. Can you smile while you do it? Yes. Hey! Okay, Joe Fish, are you ready to change arms?
Those are easier to put on.
Here we go. One more shark arm. Now, one thing I need to say as far as these progressions go is we don't, you're on the pillow, make a shark arm, is we don't always do all the progressions with all the classes. The beginner classes, we do a lot. Okay, bubble, bubble, bubble. Shark arm. Oh, put your head back down. Good job. As you can see, these guys are not real skilled at this drill. Bubble, 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 bubble. Shark arm. Where do you breathe? Breathe with a shark arm, right? Under bubbles. Good. Now side breath. Side breath. Good. All right. Would you like to do big arms with the side breath? a little, much bigger for them. All right, Beth. Go on, Beth. Side grab. Good girl. But that's okay. So we're going to go like this, and then take the side grab. Under. Now, we're going to make a line up here. It's going to be Tessa, then, and then you guys. Okay. She's going to go all the way. You go in this way. There you go. Grab. All right. Now, Joe, can you do that? I've been moved back here first. 1, 2, 3, and you're on the pillow. You're on. Go. You're on the pillow, Beth. You're on the pillow. Yes, thank you.
Oh, look, she's going all the way.
That's good. Beautiful. Thank you, everybody. All right. You ready, Mr. Joe? Joe? Let's go. Where's that, man? Whoa, whoa. Continuing this into the next step. Now, the intermediary step, if we had a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old and the kids are a little bit better, is we would put them in the floaty, kicking the long way, or the floaty with the fins. That's good, Tess. Let's do the other arm so everybody can see. One hand on there, kicking on your side. So we're doing, basically the progression is that we never let it go as they get to be better swimmers. Part of their practice every day is easing into doing all of these drills that they've been learning. Now, what we're going to do is then we're going to go the one-arm drill with the barbell, teaching the children from the beginning never to grab it, to hold it soft. You go 1, 2, 3 in a breath, and when you breathe, you want to be in this position, okay? Eyes under. 1, 2, 3, and on breath. 1, 2, 3, and on breath. Very nice. Now, certainly there's kids this age, hold her hand here. I will take her like this. Eyes under. 1, 2, 3, and out breath. Nice, guys. 1, 2, 3, and out breath. Very nice. Okay, good job. Couple of things that, as you can see, this wasn't like real smooth. These kids are just learning. It's not a real smooth transition. To learn how to teach this way, once again, I'm going to go on camera. I have to thank Ginny. She really took me over the hump last year to realize that I needed to be progressive. We have been very, very successful in children learning to do side breathing at a much younger age and at a much quicker pace. However, only if they are ready. Take this good drill and this technique where the child is still like this or is not totally comfortable in the water, you might as well not do anything. You need to remember that if the child is ready, this, we believe, is a faster way to teach them side breathing. I'd be glad to answer any questions. I can only encourage you and remind you that if you change, the frustration level is a little bit high to begin. Thank you, guys.
This, we're looking for a balanced float with most of the body below the surface because that's where it's supported. Part of the body is above the surface, it's heavy because gravity causes an imbalanced position. Looking for a relaxed float, resting edge,
This one will be a little tougher.
Superman arm. A lot of the kids, they don't know what Superman is. Stretching the legs out. See, your legs are a little bit stiff, so we'll do a lot of easy caressing, a little swishing in the water maybe to loosen up. It's all feel. Then you ease into the kicking, and all this is done over a long period of time in their development, just getting comfortable in the water. By the time you're ready to start working on the freestyle, they should be pretty well accustomed to floating in a comfortable glide position. I think the key element to the freestyle is the ability to roll the shoulders in the horizontal plane comfortably from side to side, not only just from side to side, but completely around into a comfortable back float, and then returning to the front float. Maintaining that horizontal axis without tilting the head up, bending the knees, or flailing around with the arms. So, what we would do, the child would be comfortable in a back float before you start that. So that's one of the skills that would be necessary. Front float, comfortable in the back. Now you have to be comfortable making the transition from front to back. Down. I like to walk on the side where I can roll all the way over to the back. Relax and let the tummy come up. Deep breath. Now she's very comfortable doing this. Rolling the shoulders will set up a good recovery for the arm and pulling ability. Will set up a comfortable side breathing. Now, I mentioned they need to be comfortable exchanging the air as they pass through the surface. It's a little different going from the side rather than popping up. If they're holding their breath and breathing through their mouth, there's a higher likelihood they get water in the nose. The ability to exhale through the nose as they make that roll is really paramount to a comfortable air exchange. So if you've got good nose bubbles, and if you're not sure if you can tickle them, that'll make it possible. And humming is a wonderful way to get the air out through the nose. Okay? Let's do something together. Let's put this arm out just right. This arm in the back. We're just going to roll it right. Okay? It's very soft and good. We'll do some humming bubbles, and we'll just roll right over. Now we're just going to stop right here, Jess. I want her to be able to feel the balanced position in this float. Your body will stay in a static position in a horizontal face-down float, in a horizontal back float, or in a sideways float without any support or kicking momentarily. If you're at an angle, the body won't stay like that because that's in between and they'll fall. There's light points where you can lock in. I want the kids to be able to feel that on the side. And that is basically the side float position that Andy was talking about. Instead of using the floaty as a pillow, we just let the air in the lungs be the pillow for us. Let's do that one more time. Bubbles. Now we're going to roll. I'm trying to just position her. I've got leverage with my hand under her arm. I can put gentle pressure on her head, ease it down, so that half of her head is at least in the water. Lift her head up. Lift her head up. Head up out of the water. Now, if her head's like that, what happens? It's heavy, her body balance changes, her feet start to drop, the hands will start pushing and trying to support the head position. Now, when they're comfortable finding that balance point on the side, and again, we may start by going all the way over to the back, and then back to the front, several times, so they're comfortable maintaining that horizontal axis of the arms. I really don't like to see the kids doing the overhand recovery until they're comfortable with that roll, because they wind up popping up too much for the stroke, it goes into a dog paddle. They're getting air and moving across, but if your goal is to have a smooth transition from learning to breathe and move independently right into efficient stroking, whether they're geared for swim team or not, efficiency means speed. Efficiency also means safety and efficient, non-tiring stroke. So from the beginning, we want them to be safe and comfortable, but we also want them pointed towards the stroke that will give them the speed if they need it, or just a very relaxing recreational stroke we use the rest of their life. Do the arms the first time, you might have them sitting on her lap. We're going to pull all the way back, down to the front. All the way back to the front. If many of you were here with Nick yesterday, I think he really set it out for us, and the kids learn by experiencing. You layer several different activities that set a foundation of different skills that can be put together into more complex skills. If we start with too complex an activity, there's going to be a lot of difficulty, there's going to be anxiety and frustration. But if we start simple and then build with it, building on what has gone on before, something that's familiar. What you're really doing is building familiar muscle pattern movements, right? And muscle memory. Patterns of movement that are repeated over and over again, different activities, some slightly different than others, but all working towards that same feeling for the water. And that's really the key. The learning takes place not from me telling her what she's doing, but from her brain absorbing, assimilating the experience as it happens. Now, if we do the arm strokes together, and I'm holding real firm and just pulling her through here and working around, she's not going to feel anything other than the grip that I have on her, the fact that we make a splash in the water. But if I have a very gentle grip, and we go together with try to let them feel the water through what you're doing. As if you were swimming. You two kind of meld into one body as you're flowing through the water. You want them to feel what it's going to be like as much as possible. Okay? Let them experience it a few times. You can do a little of this. You're aware of the pressure the hand has to exert on the water. As it goes through, you can get a little push on your hands all the way down the back. And that's when you get the stretch. We'd like to see the stretch, line, catch type stroke rather than a windmill. We want them to really exaggerate the stretch and roll onto the armpit. It's like skating. Kids are into the inline skating now, and they understand the concept of gliding or rolling. And you can translate that or translate it into swimming. Experience in the learning development. But it's very hard to glide with your head up, isn't it, Tess? Really hard. Now, let's see if we can do a nice soft kick. Head down.
Try to glide with your head up and it doesn't work. So now glide with your head down
Same
and
thing
it
here.
works
If you have
better.
a child that's continually put the head up a little too high, just take it to the other extreme. Make it lift it all the way up so they see how hard it is. That was hard, wasn't it? Why don't you try it one more time and push it all the way down. Makes them aware, tilting your head up a little bit, let them swim a little water polo stroke with your head up. Yes, do your freestyle all the way over to me with your head up, look at your feet. There you go, keep your head up. With your head up high, you lose the ability to glide and catch. Now, if you've got a real strong hip, you can do it, but if you're 6 or 7 years old, it's not going to happen. The head comes up, the hand has to push down to support the extra weight because gravity's taking hold. Again, you want that balance position, you want that head down, you want to feeling the water supporting them so that all the pressure they're putting on the water is for propulsion rather than for support, right? They talked about that spray paint on the arm yesterday. In freestyle, we want that paint pushing back. We don't want it pushing down or to the side. That way, we go all over the place. Go all the way down. You do it right here. Head first, and I'll do it back.
Oh, that's cute.
That's another fun thing I do with swimming kids, try to make them swim backwards. It teaches them how to push on the water, they have to streamline their feet. That's the kind of fun thing to do with the workout. Butterfly backwards, let's go backwards. And they all
Now is to go down once again, use it, but once you can go side to side on it and get your hips, but also to turn in and to turn out for your shoulder joints.
Does it feel good, you guys? Yeah?
We do self-stretching on the, that's what this is, we can get more pressure.
This is better?
Yes, you're getting leverage. That's what you're buying here is leverage. It's having a buddy. Okay, and the third one that's with the rope, with a fence hookup, is before you had a knot in each hand, so you were actually having your body weight. Now what you do is take both knots in the hand. Some people take and put their middle finger through and grab it like this so that you've got it going through. And now what you're doing is you're able to put your entire body weight into it, and you're getting the extreme stretch on one side. And you can, if you lean to the side that you're stretching on, that your hand is, you'll be able to stretch in your lat and your hip. Now, go ahead and turn in again, and turn out. In and out. And it repeats on both arms, on the other arm. You only got two. And this, I'll show you later how you say, well, yeah, but I don't have a pole or a fence in my house. I'll show you how it hooks on a doorknob. I do this first thing in the